Hey, good evening, folks. This is Richard again from Okinawa, Japan, and I want to wish you a very nice evening, or morning time, or afternoon, or wherever you might be here in this world. I will have to say that these social networking sites such as YouTube and Facebook and I guess MySpace and all the others are out there have kind of made the world a little bit smaller compared to what it was like when I was a young lad, or I should say a young Marine, traveling around the world in 1973. God, I can remember we used to just wait for mail, or what they snail mail, to get information from what was going on back home. I mean, I was stationed in places like Gabon, Africa, and here in the Far East, where I'm at now. And you thrived for that letter back home. And nowadays, communication is instantaneous. I mean, in my line of work, I can put internet in the middle of nowhere right now, and people have access to anything they want, so, which is a good thing. So, but that's not what I'm here to talk about tonight. I'm going to talk about again about what's going on in the as I see it in the news that I see, and God, I was astonished. I guess it was Time that put Glen Beck on the cover of their magazine. God, that's great. I'm going to tell you what, Glen Beck, and I'll say the right conservatives are probably really just sticking it to liberals and progressive. I mean, why would they do that? Put him on the cover. This guy has done more to expose bad guys on the left as well as the right. I mean, he wasn't the biggest fan of George Bush, but the guy's got his stuff together. I mean, he's just echoing what a lot of Americans are really complaining about. And basically, the first thing is those idiots in Congress and in the Senate are not listening to us. Okay, they're on their own little agenda, and from what I see, they're doing what the hell they want to do, vice what we want them to do. And every time we try something or I should say, try to change. I mean, especially with this Tea Party movement and such that's going on right now. I mean, we're dismissed like we're nobody. Well, I got news for you. This is pretty interesting watching this, because normally people on the right, conservatives and Republicans, they're not really prone to going out and doing this grassroots organizing. That's one thing I will admit for the left. They're really good at that stuff. They get their people out there, and they get them, voter registration or voter fraud registration, or whatever you want to call it. But they get their people out there, albeit with our taxpayer dollars doing this stuff, but they get them out there. But what's interesting about this, what's going on now, is the fact that the right is doing this now, and they're using all the tools that the left used during Obama's election. I mean, they're using Facebook, they're using YouTube, they're using just about everything they can to indicate to those people up in D.C., look, yeah, there's going to be change. You know what? Obama ain't going to be doing a change. It's going to be us doing a change. We're sick and tired of being ignored. We're sick and tired of our money being spent, just, again, I can't think of the quote. I'm going to have to get it out here again, but I just saw in a news article today about how the Homeland Security spent $15 million upgrading some, border crossing points up in, I guess it was up in Montana, and they get maybe one. I think they said they got 20 people or 20 border crossings a day, and the other one was like 3. What the hell is going on? And I'm going to tell you what it is that when it's not their money, they could care less how they spend it. They don't have, the government is not a business, They don't have to worry about the bottom line, okay? Because the bottom line to the U.S. government is, hey, we'll raise taxes so we can get more money, so we can just go out and spend it on whatever we want to spend it, okay? If they were a business, you know what? This spending would come to a screeching halt, I work at a regular job, 8 hours a day. And then I come home and I work on a second job, my own home business that I do. I spend on average about 16 hours a day. No, I'm not doing it because I need the money. I'm all right. It's always nice to have extra money, but the second job I'm doing it because I love it, okay? And I enjoy it. And maybe it's my full-time job for me in the near future. But I'm going to tell you what. I worry about when I spend my money. When I make purchases of supplies for my business, I worry about when I've got to pay the bills for my business. I worry about the income that I'm taking in. Am I generating enough revenue to cover all my expenses? You know what? The government doesn't have to worry about that. They just go on and collect our money and continue to spend. And I'm going to tell you what, if you all just took time to read the Constitution and look specifically at the powers of the federal government, they're very limited. But they've gotten themselves in a point where they're just taking more power away from us. They're taking our personal liberties away from us. And that's what's scary. And that's why all these people are out there. Because we are losing our personal liberties. It's just amazing that some people can sit back and watch this happen. And you know what? Those people in socialized countries in Europe and in South America that have become dictatorships, they did the same thing. They just sat back and said, "Oh, well, don't worry about it. Everything will be all right." And da 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 da. And you know what? They've got a dictatorship on their hand. We don't want that in America. I'll guarantee the next thing they will be coming for is our guns. Okay, this is Richard from Okinawa, Japan. You guys have a good day, because I know it's daytime there back in America, or whoever's watching or wherever you're at, but have a good night.